this meeting of the Finance and Special Meeting of the Finance and Personnel Committee to order. Yeah. All right. Could we start with a roll call, please?
Yes. Alder Taft,
I am here.
Alder West,
Here.
Alder Pete,
Present.
Alder Horton is excused,
Correct.
Alder Tate the second.
Present.
That completes roll call to go for
Yep. Director Fisher, if you would mind reading the item, that'd be delightful.
Item number 0217-23, communication sponsored by Mayor Mason and Alder Taft on behalf of the city administrator, submitting the Local 321 International Association of Firefighters 2021 through 2024 collective bargaining agreement for consideration. Staff recommendation that the negotiated collective bargaining agreement with Local 321 International Association of Firefighters for 2021 to 2024 be approved. Fiscal note, the wage increases are as follows: 4% increases for on January 1st, 2021, 3.5% on January 1st, 2022, 1% increase on January 1st, 2023, 3% increase on December 31st, 2023, 1% increase on January 1st, 2024, and a 3.25% increase on December 31st, 2024. The settlement also includes a $2,000 retention bonus for active members and a sick leave payout phase out plan. The collective cost of the contractual increases over the 4-year period amount to approximately $2 million in wages and benefits over the life of the contract. Base wages will increase by 15.75% over the term of the contract. Administrator Bornhouse is here to speak on the item.
Proceed, sir.
So, Director Fisher, obviously in the resolution covered the salary increases, that is a 15.75% over the course of 4 years. I'm pleased to tell you that it is a 4-year contract. We are paying a one-time $2,000 retention bonus. That
Oh,
is,
hold on one second. There's a question about whether we can close the door or not. We're not in closed session, so we can leave it open. Yeah, I don't know if it locks. I mean, I think it's
I just-
still
because
open.
it
It was noisy, I know.
Keep that.
Yeah. Pardon me. Please continue, sir.
so you heard the wage increases. There's a $2,000 one-time retention bonus that is not base building. Also, we were able to have them implement the incentive for residents. So going forward, new hires to the fire department will be eligible if they live within the city of Racine for a 3% increase like our non-reps do. You'll see the staffing section that I pointed to attachment A. And if you have questions, the chief is here. These are really operational changes, language changes, title changes, things in the contract that have lasted over time that need to be cleaned up that are currently not in going on and or needed to be updated or modernized because of the antiquated language. Health insurance, they did go down from 10% that they had been maintaining when we had the 2 plans, are going down to 7.5%, which is what all other employees pay. The other language that we were able to secure is all the WERC references to non-negotiable languages in healthcare are now taken out of the contract. And we agree to, if a court decision somewhere down the road changes that or puts something back that we have to negotiate, we obviously would listen to a court. We would sure judge that. And we would agree to confer on those issues as such. The sick leave payout, this, as I had advised you in closed session and prior, this gives you the phase out starting in 2025, cap at 10,000, and then it slowly goes down and then is eliminated altogether in 2028. Your finance director tells me that she starts at about a $500,000 pool every year based on fire and police payouts. So this is a legacy cost over the next 10 to 15 years that is truly eliminating a legacy cost that is really unmanageable for the city, which I would say overall is a big takeaway for the city. Additional paid holiday, again, that was already given in King Day or they are granted an additional 24 hours. That was one of the incentives that they asked for. And then, as you can see, all the other stuff that we had put into non-reps home buyer assistance, repayment, even if you put in that kind of more paid parental leave, which is actually a wage, but that will be in the contract and extended to them. So it is my recommendation that you pass this. I think one, the wages, which is 15.75, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, is a lot of increase over 4 years. But they had fallen behind in the last 2 years, given that they haven't had a contract to their comparables. This puts us back on top of the pay scale. In fact, in my calculations, only Madison is above us in 2022. 2023, many haven't settled in 2024, and no one has settled. So it puts us right at the top. And again, I would say that getting the residency incentive was great for the city. I will also say that the sick leave liability was a costly one. I mean, obviously Director Fisher has advised you in the past that we have had payouts anywhere from 18,000 to 22,000. And while it doesn't eliminate it right away, we have the ability to pay right now in the form of ARPA. And we use those resources to give you an out on a liability when you won't have ARPA. Will I say that this is sustainable after 2024 and the ARPA is gone? Not in its current form. We might be back to zeros or, God forbid, even attrition, or because it will be hard to maintain without growth in revenue. I am hopeful that the state and is at a better place than they've ever been, talking about local aids to government, and maybe by 2025, when we're balancing your budget, there'll be something more to work with. But going before an arbitrator, which is your only other choice, given our ability to pay now and trying to build out buy out of sick leave, could have been an either or. We probably could have made a good case. On the other hand, no guarantees. Here you have a guarantee. So that's any question.
So
Yes, Alderman
in your initial presentation, you mentioned for new hires with the residency incentive. But when this just says members who are city residents, so is that all employees as they exist?
In
or
the,
future
yes, I'm getting confused, got a police contract on that too. So in the fire department, it will be all residents after January 1, 2020.
Okay, so current employees,
Correct.
future employees.
Correct, your day except for
Okay.
that language. Yes.
Can you give some context as it relates to some of the languages that were struck out? There's a lot relating to the paramedic, and perhaps Chief Nancy could speak to this. There's a lot of language about paramedics and staffing and training and those sorts of things. Just give us some context about that, please.
Absolutely, I can give you no clarity. So back when the city developed its paramedic program back in the mid-90s, the language that was put in the contract was modeled after other cities. And this adjunct language that is basically what has been stricken from the contract allowed a paramedic to get off the rescue squad and not be assigned to a rescue squad, even though they're not assigned, to fill in when somebody is absent. So for example, I'll use me as an example. If I were to go to an adjunct status and I went to an engine company, even though I maintained my paramedic license, the department could not put me back on the squad if they were short that day, unless there was nobody else available. This language removes that wall there, and everybody that's a paramedic can be assigned whenever we need them on a daily staffing basis. So that's a lot of what you see in the yellow and the strike through has to deal with the paramedic language. It's archaic language that we no longer need or want because of the staffing issues and moving people around to make sure we maintain paramedics on the rescue squad. That's what that Appendix A does. It removes that language, gives us a little more managerial rights over the paramedics so that if we need somebody, we can say, okay, Alder Tate, you're on the squad.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
It does, because I was like, what is this?
Sure, absolutely.
And I also, it's like, there's a lot of language struck about, the chief particularly doing a particular thing. and
Right.
That gives some context. to that.
So it's just the way I like to do things. When I, put something together, I like to strike out what I want to remove and then highlight what I want to put in so that everybody can read it in its proper context.
Okay.
But that's just it.
All right.
But
That was
it is before you, because they are changed the contract, you have ultimate approval,
Right.
so you do need to change, you do need to approve those changes.
Right, understood. Is there anything related to this? I know we discussed it a few years back about going from 3 to 2 on the paramedics. Is there anything, or on the EMS vehicles as far as staffing? Is there anything in the contract related to those staffing?
This
levels?
language maintains 2-person med units, but as we have additional staffing available, we'll make those arrangements. It's all dependent on so many different factors, vacation time, FMLA, other leaves that occur within the department. This language maintains the 2-person rescue squads.
Minimum 2.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, Alder Pete.
So I'm understanding that you get, by changing the language, it gives you more flexibility to deal with all of the unknowns, unexpected variables.
Absolutely, Alder Pete. This gives us that flexibility that we've needed. Again, this language was put into play 20 years ago, and it's time to clean it up.
Thank you.
Any other questions for city administrator or for Chief Hansen? Or Director Fisher? Okay, thank you, sir. Well, seeing no further discussion, a motion would be in order of this time, at this time, so
Move to approve item 0217-23. Collective bargaining agreement with local 321. Association of
yeah,
Firefighters.
I'm gonna call second for that one.
We have it.
All right, so we have a motion and a second, so are there any further, is there any further discussion?
Yes.
Alder Tate, please proceed.
So I just want to thank the bargaining team that we signed and developed, I think, more than 2 years ago, actually, when we changed the structure of how we bargain with our bargaining units for their efforts. Obviously, we're at a point where we can kind of talk about, it's in front of us now, but this is not like a new thing that we've been working on. It's been happening for a long time. We've been providing direction and we've been coming back to say how the negotiations are going and what the subjects of contention are. I just appreciate that. Both sides have come to a place of satisfaction. And one thing I like to kind of refrain when we talk about collective bargaining is like, there's the right to bargain and there's also the responsibility. And I think both sides have recognized that responsibility to come forth in good faith, and identify, what works, what won't work, and then ultimately we're all working for the same thing, which is the service of the city of Racine and the residents, and coming to a place where we're both comfortable with continuing to provide that service, but also meeting, wages and benefits, but also the fiscal sustainability of the city. So I appreciate the efforts. It's difficult, not easy. And this is certainly the hardest contract that's come before me since I've been on council in terms of, coming to a tentative agreement. But the circumstances are radically different too, that we're sitting in today than we were, let's say 6 years ago. So certainly kudos to the local, 321, and kudos to the bargaining team here at the city of Racine, coming to a place where, both sides may walk away a little unhappy, but also satisfied. And that's like the best case scenario when we're bargaining. So appreciate everyone's efforts.
I second that. Yep, I've had the opportunity to speak to folks and I am very grateful for the hard work. So, okay, with that, any further discussion?
Again, just want to echo the thanks to everybody involved. And congratulations.
Okay, yeah, we look forward to, all right, so any further, so seeing no further discussion, please, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries, and I look very much forward to taking this to council tomorrow. So hopefully I will certainly be enthusiastic about supporting this motion tomorrow. So I believe that brings our business for tonight to a close. So we are adjourned.
I like the removal of Manning to staff.
Yes, yes.
Kind of reflects 20 years